Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now, the plants in front of you now are all Masdevallaias, and one of my subscribers, Valerie, has asked how are they going on in the different mediums I put them in. You know, I put one in pure bark, I put one in pure coconut husk, and I put one in a mixture of both. So we're just going to see how they're going on. Now, they haven't done much this last month, these plants, and I've had them in too much light. I know that because the leaves have been going yellow. Well, it was either too much light or too much water, because the leaves will go yellow in either of those conditions. So, I mean, mine might have been a mixture of the two. So I'm moving these into sort of a mid-light, and not watering them for about 10 days unless we get some really hot weather. Anyhow, let's have a look at the ones I mentioned. Well, this is Masdevallai ignea, and this was in pure bark, and there's some nice new growths here. You can see the dark coloured leaves, but why I say I've given this too much light or too much water, it was sending up a spike, and look how it's finished up. It's gone bright yellow. So that's blasted. So it's either too much light or too much water. So, as I said before, I'll cut down on both of them. But this one in the pure bark is growing fine. It's growing very well, very well. Now this is the one I put in pure bark, and this is growing very nicely. Pure coconut husk, sorry. This is growing very nicely. And this is a Vetiana and Prince de Galles. So, yeah, nice growth on this one. I'm expecting them to grow much bigger than the old leaves. And if they don't do that, then they'll need repotting into something different or a different feed. And this one is in the mixture, and this seems to be doing very well, growing very nicely. Plenty of nice new growth coming up, as you can see. And this is Auburn Hero. And they've all got nice roots on, I think. We'll just have a look at them. Yeah, this one has got some nice roots on, very nice. And I mean, I don't know much about Masdevallaias, but I've been told this is a good rootstock for that species. Yeah, very pleased with that one. This young Prince de Galles is not showing many roots, but there's a nice big one there at the bottom, so I'm presuming there's plenty more in the pot waiting to get to the sides. Don't think there's any more. No, there's only that one I can see. There we are. Anyhow, that's doing very nicely. And this is the ignea, and this has got some nice roots on it. It's only small pots, that's how I'm able to turn it round with one hand. Yeah, got some lovely roots on that one. So on the whole, I'm quite pleased with them, and I'll be more pleased when I give them less light and less water. Now, these are a couple of divisions I got off mixed Masdevallaias, and this one is just starting to put out some new growth. What is this one? When did I get them? Oh, I only got them in March, so I've only had them a couple of months and they've been settling into my conditions. And this one is Masdevallai Inca Prince, and you can just see it's coming up with some nice new thick growth there. And some more around the side, I think, somewhere. I know in the middle. You see it coming up there in the middle. So pleased with that one. And the other one is a white one. So it's a Masdevallai amabilis aloha. Right, and you can see the nice new growth coming up there now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and one a little bit bigger than the others. Oh no, there's two there. So there's plenty of growth on this one. So I'm quite pleased with these. Well, if you remember, I split a large plant up of Chelanos stellisulfurea, and when I took it out of the pot it all dropped to pieces, but I kept every little piece I could. Oh, excuse me, I had a tickle in my throat, and every small piece I kept and put it in a pot, and here's one of the bigger pieces, and this is coming up very nicely. There's only two of them growing now, but you can see there's a new shoot coming up there and another one there, so that's going to make it. And one of the ones I nearly threw away, which was this little monstrosity, I just noticed that's coming up with a little new growth there, so that might do well. But those are the only two that are showing any sign of growth. Excuse me. And I also at the same time split up a large Dendrobium glumaceum, and that's doing absolutely nothing. There's no growth on them at all, but they do feel a little bit firmer in the pots, so I'm keeping an eye on those. Now here's one ready for a repot, and it's Paphiopedilum bellatulum, and it's been in this pot ever since I've had it, and never been moved. And when I squeeze the pot it's as hard as iron, but there's no room for any more growth. But I'm just wondering, there's something coming up there. Should I leave it and just see what happens? And leave it like it is? I don't know. What do you think? Well, I decided to take it out of its pot, and the roots don't look too bad, but the stuff it was in was horrible stuff. Look at that. It's like powder. Just nothing. So I'm going to put it in a bigger pot and give it more room to breathe. I had all these things stuck at the bottom there, and anyway, we'll just have a look at the roots. They're all curling round, and I think I'll put it in a 1 litre pot, this, because the roots are quite good, but I do like them growing down. It looks like there's a new root growing there too. So good. So this is being repotted at the correct time. Well, I've cleaned the roots up on this one now, and I don't know, that stuff, that fine stuff, I think it was peat moss it was in, but I've got some peat moss as well, so I'm going to put a bit of peat moss back in, and then just look at this, and I've just been inspecting it, and it's got new growths coming. Can you see them there? Plenty of them. There's another there. But how I'm going to pot this up like that, I have no idea. The leaves are so floppy. But we'll see what we can do. But I'm just going to put it in some bit bigger bark than it was in, some perlite and some peat moss. Well, there's the bellatulum all potted up now, so I hope it continues to do well. I hope it shows the new growth coming through shortly, but these are very, very slow growing. But we'll see what happens with it. I'm glad it's repotted now, and it'll be in there for at least another 12-18 months. Paphiopedilum bellatulum. Absolutely bizarre flower, but absolutely gorgeous at the same time. Well, this is where I put the Masdevallias underneath the bench up here, and they should do fine there. Anyhow, the next 3 or 4 weeks will make a big difference to them. We'll make sure they don't get the yellow leaves growing more. We'll give them a bit of Epsom salts, that'll colour them up a bit. And until then, well, thank you very much for watching, and thanks to all my subscribers, and until I see you next time, bye.